Men only want one thing.
These are my fat cat diaries. This is day 1 of wheel training. I'm nervous.
My cats are big. Will this fit full-grown Maine Coon and ragdolls?
Men only want one thing.
If you haven't tried Japanese peach, you need to try it because it's very different to an American peach. I can already smell the sweetness and it's very fuzzy to the touch. It's so juicy. I feel bad for people who haven't tried peaches outside of the United States.
But men only want one thing.
Jeez. Big snapper.
Here's part 1 for how I filleted this big, beautiful mutton snapper in Key West, Florida.
What you got? I don't know. We'll see. Thinking snapper.
Ladies, men only want one thing.
Team USA takes gold in women's beaver stroking.
The girl found a stray beaver by the river and decided to take it home.
When a man comes home from work, there's only one thing he really wants.
I got tacos, yay! Oh, they're so pretty.
And making tacos that are kind to your waistline for Taco Tuesday.
Made these crispy baked tacos.
I hate to say it, but it's true. All men really only want one thing.
Let's talk about the kettlebell snatch. The snatch is a single arm swing combined with a strict press. Set up to the snatch.
The kettlebell snatch can be a challenging move to learn.
Guys only want one thing.
Do not buy your boxes at Staples. Do not buy them at USPS. Go to a liquor store. Go to Walmart.
So I just got bought.
At 38 years old, I found out that the man who raised me is different than my biological father. I found this out via an Ancestry.com test that I took for fun.
30% of all men who go to actually get paternity tested turn out to not be the father. So out of every 100, 30 of those will not be the dad. So it does leave me to wonder why, when a baby is born, why don't they just DNA test at that time, understanding the fact that sometimes the dad's not involved, but that seems like it would clear up a whole bunch of issues.
5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Sears' son, Dylan.
That's right.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison.
Do you know? Yes, ma'am. You know who his father is. Yes, I talk to him still.
Sometimes people do bad things because they are just bad people. Stop trying to defend them or explain why. That's who they are.
Really? You're playing a video game again? Really? You're drinking again?
Really? You're eating another ice cream?
Well, a woman is in custody this.
I know this is meant to be funny, but so many men experience this every single day. They don't feel like they can do anything that they enjoy or their hobbies. If he goes out with his friends too much, that's a problem. Video games, that's a problem. Golfing, that's a problem. Whatever it is that he likes. And I do think you need to keep in mind how often you are asking him these types of questions. You need to be supportive of something. Ideally, most things. Otherwise, why are you with him? Are you guys even compatible if you hate every hobby that he has? You may think that these comments are harmless, but they're really not.
Now, this man is making his own lunch and cleaning up behind himself as any adult would, but of course he's getting lots and lots of praise in the comment section. There are a lot of men saying, get you a new wife, because if I was leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning and she was home all day, quote unquote, doing nothing, the least she could do is get up and make you a lunch. Being at home all day with a set of twins, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, all of that, it is a full-time 24/7 job. The caption said the reason why he was making his own lunch is because his wife works the night shift. So in addition to all of that, she also has a job. Not to mention the fact this meal could have been prepared the night before. You could have just made a big dinner and made sure you had leftovers so the leftovers could be packed for lunch. Or you could have made a sandwich. But anytime a man does anything in addition to his 8-hour shift, all this praise gets heaped onto him. But that never happens for women. Nobody ever says, girl, you are amazing. The cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, you're doing everything for those kids all on your own. You're amazing. No, because you're expected to be a mule. Because the unsaid, unwritten rule is that that's your job. But we're all adults until it's time for a grown man to make his own lunch and clean up behind himself. He's fully capable of making his own lunch and cleaning up behind himself just like a woman would if she had a 5 o'clock shift. And that doesn't make him a super husband. That just makes him an adult.
And what you see in the comments is the most incredible man is a basic woman at best, or some variation of that. There was a woman in the comments that actually said something to the effect of, this is what... This is something that every other woman does. So if I understand math correctly, every other day could be basically 50%. So it's 1 out of 2. If I go up to bat and I get 6 at bats, I'm 3 out of 6, which in baseball is fantastic, actually. Basketball, it's actually, once again, fantastic. If I'm completing 50% of my passes in football, that's not great. That's not great. In life, if you make a 50 on the test, it's also not great. So if you're saying every other woman does this, let's round it. But even if it was 51 to 52%, you're basically saying half of the women do this. So they would be basic women, is what you're saying. Actually, you're basically saying that women aren't as great as you say that they are. Y'all look at this. Y'all do this all the time. What he's doing. And then y'all say, y'all cry out, man ain't helping. Man ain't doing nothing. I do so much. I threw a Tide Pod from the living room into the washer. It's so hard for me to do that. And then I have to change the load. I have to change it from one washing machine that's right here to the dryer that's right here. And that's so tough for me. I hate having to do that. Some of these women out here have a laundry service. They have a laundry service. So, it's so stressful. I had to take the laundry and drop it off. And they come drop it off, darn near hang it up for me. But life is so hard because I had to set up the appointment. Oh, okay.
Really? You're playing a video game again? Really? You're drinking again?
Really? You're eating another ice cream?
Well, a woman is in custody this.
I know this is meant to be funny, but so many men experience this every single day. They don't feel like they can do anything that they enjoy or their hobbies. If he goes out with his friends too much, that's a problem. Video games, that's a problem. Golfing, that's a problem. Whatever it is that he likes. And I do think you need to keep in mind how often you are asking him these types of questions. You need to be supportive of something. Ideally, most things. Otherwise, why are you with him? Are you guys even compatible if you hate every hobby that he has? You may think that these comments are harmless, but they're really not.
How do you expect me to treat you like a man and respect you if you can't lead?
Make it make sense. If I lead too much, then I'm controlling. And if I don't, then I don't know how.
Translation time! So what she's saying is, lead me, but don't lead me, because I want to do what I want, but I want to do what you want me to do.
Pick your nuts up and lead me like a man's supposed to do, nigga!
I just want to know you're in control so I can feel safe around you. You have to have a healthy balance. That's why being a leader isn't for everyone.
Then explain to me how I'm a leader in everything else. My business, myself, my basketball team. It seems to me like you don't want to be led. Who's really the problem here?
What the? You trying to compare me? You can't leave me like you leave everybody else. I'm different. I'm her.
Money don't grow on trees. I just want to be the most important woman in your life.
To be honest, I don't even think you know what a real leader is. What good role models have you had?
A lot of people are married in my family. She watches movies like Ruth and Boaz. That was a man.
All right, bet. You want me to lead? And we're going to start with this. You ain't watching Jocelyn's Cabaret no more. Baddies, because that be having you acting wild. Next thing, you ain't drinking Starbucks every day because you be blowing money and that became an unnecessary bill. Last thing is when we go to Miami, you ain't wearing that shoestring little bathing suit that you bought. Yeah, no, that's out.
Oh, hell no. I'm wearing my shoestring drawer, nigga.
Shoestrings? Don't you tie your shoes with a shoestring? Why are we talking about shoestrings?
Yeah, that should be cool. That sounds like a good set. Matter of fact, I got one more. I'm gonna pick every food spot from now on because you don't never know what you want to eat, and I don't want to hear no complaining. What I say is final.
A real leader wouldn't even be sitting up here arguing with me like this.
You just understand my emotions. I just want to turn my brain off, and I just want a man to leave because I don't know things a lot of times.
I'm done. Matter of fact, I'm on the roll. You ain't hanging out with that gay no more because I know deep down he just trying to find a smart way in. And you ain't going to the club with them hoes no more that you call your friends. They be out there popping more than guns. No.
Guns?
Be a leader and not a bleeder. You act like you got a period in this.
I don't really understand this conversation. If you just lead us out of it, that would be great.
So the next time you come in my manhood and say I can't lead, think about it. I know I'm a good leader. Door this way.
Stop saying you want a woman with a low body count and just say that your ego can't risk a woman knowing how terrible you are in bed.
So, men aren't allowed to have reasonable standards when it comes to dating. Is that it? How interesting. It really must be rough for some women to be so absolutely hypocritical, because I would like to point out that if a woman had said that she would only be with a man who had a low body count, she would not only be praised as a queen, but told that she is doing the right thing by having respect for herself and only wanting to be with someone who also has self-respect. Yet if it's a man that has a reasonable or even a high standard when it comes to dating, they are actually often shamed for it. While women are told to shoot for the moon to have men with the highest salaries and best jobs and the best looks, men are essentially just told that they should be very grateful for what they get.
So I was talking to this guy for a couple months, and we were like a week out from dating, and then he decided he didn't like me anymore. Whatever. We ended on good terms. I sent him this little text, and it says availability for D appointment Thursday and Friday available, 20th to 27th out of town. The unforeseeable future available. Warning comes with complimentary back scratches, free alcohol, a few jokes, uncontrollable yapping. Sorry, this was user error. And the possibility of falling in love. I also added a little note section about the Glick, like 9,000, but I want a job in the future, so I covered that. So this man didn't answer after 2 hours, so obviously I texted him again. And I said, can you not be evil for a minute and at least say this was funny and crazy?
I'm going to gently hold your hand when I say this. This situation is exactly what people mean when they say that you could not waterboard this information out of me. This is a lot. It would have been a lot if he did it. This borderlines on harassment. Nothing about the initial text was like, I'm joking, I'm just kidding. You almost sound like you're begging the man at this point. Even ChatGPT was like, I don't know about this one, sis. I think you're downplaying it because it hurt you more than you care to admit. I think it continued to bruise your ego when you threw it at him and he rejected even that. There was a part of you that thought, even if he doesn't want to be with me romantically or want a real relationship, he'll at least want this. And he didn't even want that, and that hurt. I think it bruised your ego to throw yourself at this man's feet and he still rejected you. Rather than being honest about that, you try to make it seem like it was just a joke. I wasn't even serious. What would have happened if he had taken you up on the offer? Liked him and he didn't like you back, that's fine. He's just not your person. There's gonna be a guy out there who loves you and your quirky sense of humor, but he's just not it. Now leave that man alone before he files a restraining order against you.
I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but I do agree with her on this one. If a man did this, this would be weird. And you posted it. It's even weirder that you posted it. Wow.
I don't know what man needs to know and understand this, but you do not get an award for sticking around. I know you think it's admirable to try to make things work and you stay longer than you should have, or you're trying to make things work after she's cheated, lied, or treated you like crap the entire time. But there is nowhere in the world where she's suddenly going to wake up and make changes to make your life easier or better. And you're right. A good man is going to stick it out through thick and thin and even drag himself through the mud. But the only thing that you're doing is prolonging the inevitable, which is the breakup and the loss of everything that you feel like you're still stuck in. You don't need somebody that berates you. You don't need somebody that their idea of communication is giving you the silent treatment or gaslighting you or screaming in your face or telling you that you're worthless or an idiot. And what does she bring into your life? A good woman is going to elevate your life in a way that you can't even fathom. And if you stay stuck where you're not wanted, you're just literally keeping yourself from something better. And I know you're not going to like me when I say this, but I promise you, money is not the only thing that you need in life to be happy. A lot of you are always saying that you don't want to lose all of your, but you're essentially losing yourself in staying in situations where you aren't valued, where you are not appreciated, and you are taking care of someone who refuses to take care of you. There are good women out here that will take care of you, that will cook for you, that will clean for you, that will obey you, that will listen to you, that will actually be a partner in life. And you don't have to drown yourself saving a woman that doesn't care about you. Stop settling for literal breadcrumbs. Stop settling for women who make excuses for treating you poorly. Stop settling for women that don't want to help plan dates or buy you Christmas gifts or show you admiration and affection and appreciation. Stop trying to save these women that are literally making you lose yourself in the process. Okay, bye.
Yesterday I made a post calling out this account, Clara Valdez, for using influencers' photos, putting a Down syndrome filter on them, and making this entire page dedicated to them and their Down syndrome. That's right, folks. Faking Down syndrome for likes and clicks. But some of you are claiming that I got it wrong. Some of you are saying that she has mosaic Downs, and sometimes it doesn't physically present in the same way. Like EQ3899 here points out, she has mosaic Downs. I must be wrong. Doc David said, it's a thing. Look it up. Cisco, how do you know she's faking it? Here's another one. Is it proven? Blah, 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 blah. Guys, I'm not just out here gunslinging, playing with people's reputations. If I post something, it's true. So how do I know that this is a photo that's been edited to have a Down syndrome face? Well, I screenshotted it and I cropped the face part off and I put it into Google Lens and tineye.com, reverse image searches. And this photo came up. The same photo, but no edit. So I reverse image searched this photo. Came back to this poor girl that somebody stole photos from and started putting Down syndrome filters on to get likes and views. Here's one of the fake Down syndrome photos. Look at the face. And here's the original that they stole from this girl's profile. Now, when I called the fake account out yesterday, it made this post on their story. Follow my second account. People are misunderstanding the purpose of my account. And yes, I use filters to cover up my security. No, that's not what you're doing. At the time, the account was only following and tagged in a bunch of OnlyFans accounts. The whole purpose for people doing this is money. They create this profile, they post a bunch of photos with the Downs filter for God knows what reason, then they make an OnlyFans and they make bank off of weirdos. Shame on them and shame on the weirdos that buy it. But yeah, guys, I didn't make a mistake. This is absolutely a fake photo of somebody pretending to have Down syndrome.
How does that work with you and your wife? Like, is she more like laid back?
My wife is she's everything that a woman's supposed to be. Soft-spoken, elegant, extremely laid back, extremely.
When y'all get in an argument, what does she do?
We don't do arguments.
Okay.
We don't argue.
If you guys get in a disagreement, what does she do?
She does what grown women do. She lets me be right until I realize I'm wrong. Damn. That's how grown women navigate. Yeah, I deal with feminine women.
Wait, say it again.
That was hard. Say it again.
She allows me to be right until I come back and realize I'm wrong. That's what smart women do.
So when do you come
Ladies,
back
that's a new standard.
It could be when I leave. I could go get in my car. It could be a day. It could be
What if
2
you
days.
never realize it?
She knows what kind of man she got. I'm going to realize it.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
Y'all watch this. Babe, I gotta talk to you. Cause I just think, let me set this up, put this up so I can have this for proof so you can see this later. But I just think it's funny how you got a tough ass girl like me soft as fuck for your ass now. Okay? Yeah, you thought I was gonna snap on you, huh? No, let me tell you something. I just want to say that I love some stuff about you. I love how, you changed your whole life for your family first and foremost. That is not going unnoticed, okay? I acknowledge you for that. A lot of men don't do that. A lot of men don't step up to the plate, leave the streets alone, leave all the girls alone, all that stuff, and you did it, okay? I love you for that. Thank you for that. For real, for real. I thank you for being a good ass dad to my kids, okay? Not only are you a good man to me, but you're a great, amazing father to my children, to our children, okay? Coming from a girl that did not have a dad, I see how you are with our kids, and I sit back and I smile on the inside, I cry on the inside, because I wish I had that. So seeing my kids have that, and knowing you're the reason that they do have it, I thank you for that, okay? I thank you for wanting to go hard for your family each and every day. You put our feelings, my feelings especially, before yours sometimes. The way you love your family, the way you fight for your family, the way you take up for your family, the way you put us first. That don't go unnoticed, okay? In case. Love you.
And you see how he took that headphone off so he could hear both of you. So, hey, let me give you my full attention. Because a lot of men don't actually really truly get this. A lot of modern women will go right past it. And at first he thought she was joking. Now he's like, okay, well, she seems like she's serious. Let me listen up to what she's saying. And I think most men will appreciate you giving them their flowers before they pass away.
All right, hear me out. All I'm saying is this, is that if my partner was no longer interested in any type of intimacy with me at all and never seemed bothered by it, doesn't want to talk about it or anything, I'm out. I'm leaving. Because all I have control over is myself. And I don't want to be in a marriage with somebody who doesn't want to put in effort towards me and our marriage and our commitment. I don't want to do it. I want to pack my and I want to heal and I want to move on. That's what I want to do. And we're all different and we all have different options. And it's about, figuring those out and deciding what's the best course of action. And for me, it would be packing my and getting out of Dodge. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, my husband would do the exact same thing. It's one thing to have low libido. It's one thing to, even have to remove the physical act of because of medical reasons or other issues or whatever. But to remove all intimacy altogether, no touching, no kindness, none of that, I'm a hard pass on that. Because how am I supposed to thrive in my life if the one person I'm attached to, connected to, has no interest in ever touching me again? No, thank you. I'm good.
Maturing is realizing that it's not that all guys are the same. It's that you're doing something to cause the same reaction. People are looking at me while I'm recording. But anyways, let that sink in, okay? So there's something that you're doing that is getting the same type of reaction out of each man that you're with, even though not everybody is the same, right? Everybody thinks differently. But let's think about this, right? What's the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. I know. It's crazy, right? No pun intended. You got to self-reflect. You got to be able to look at yourself and say, okay, I have this character flaw. I have this insecurity. I have this issue. And I got to work on that issue. Or if not, I'm going to feel like every guy is the same. Mic drop.
She cut off Pound Town, and if she wanted to, she would. Today's vocabulary word of the day is accountability. And I was going to make a whole video on this, but thankfully we have the internet, and when you scroll, you can easily find examples of women who take zero accountability for anything ever in their lives. Example A, we have Susan Avalon, who murdered. Let's not ruin someone's life over accusations. Nobody knows what actually happened. God forbid a woman handle her to-do list. She's 51 and never been in trouble before. Let's wait until the full story before we jump to conclusions. These are women's comments. She won't do it again. She was only married twice. She murdered 2 of her ex-husbands. 3 months probation, 15 minutes of community service, and $100 fine. Why are those men by themselves? Should they know better? So they invited her in instead. What were they wearing? That one's not really. But very thorough, gore-oriented, works under pressure. Literally, women are like zero accountability whatsoever. Whatsoever. I rest my case. Women continuously show up today with zero accountability, and the world just lets them do it. Do better, lady.
Just had a man pick me up for a date. He asked me if I was a man in the car. I said yes. This man turns around and takes me back home.
Okay.
Now, this is a very prime example of somewhat fragile masculinity, but also dishonesty.
It's okay to have preferences when it comes to who you want to date. If you're a man who doesn't want to date other men, that's fine. It doesn't make you an example of fragile masculinity or dishonesty. It actually makes you an honest, straight man.
But I guess my biggest problem is if you had an inkling of a thought or you felt any type of way, you should have quite literally just asked and been honest from the very beginning.
What if we switch that up? Because you know you err strongly on the feminine side. Why don't you be honest from the beginning and tell him that you are a man? He shouldn't have something to ask. You should have something to tell.
And for my Theys, my girls, my dolls out there in the world, y'all be safe out there. Truly just be safe. Because for a slight moment in time, I was actually kind of scared for a minute.
And here's the harsh reality. A lot of gay men like this man or trans people can find themselves in very violent situations when they fail to disclose. Don't fail to disclose. I don't wish violence upon anybody, and I also don't wish for people to go through situations where they're unaware of the actual situation that they're in. So just be forward about who you are.
But yeah, y'all, I don't know. Am I tripping?
Yes.
Men, you have to get it through your head. Some of these women are just out to get you, and you keep taking the bait every time. This isn't a talent crisis. This is a self-control crisis. We keep watching incredibly gifted men with the opportunity of a lifetime fumble away generational wealth, their reputation, and their influence because they lack discipline and they lack impulse control. We're talking about University of Michigan head football coach Sharon Moore, fired after an investigation found out that he had a relationship with a staffer, meaning he was fired with cause, meaning he doesn't get paid. He had several years left on his contract. He's probably made about $6 million so far, but perhaps had $25 million left on his contract, and the school doesn't have to give him a dime of that money. Why? Not only because he had an extramarital affair, but because he had it with a woman that he worked with. Now, he'll never see that money. And more importantly, his family will never see that money. A wife and 3 kids, and now $25 million or more that your family will never see. Was it worth it? We're talking about one of the biggest brands in college football, and you cannot preach to young men discipline if you don't have any in your personal life. Now, to be very clear, the details of this are still unfolding. As an actual journalist, I want to be very responsible with what I say next, but it has been reported on enough outlets where I feel comfortable saying it is alleged that the mistress is pregnant, and that when Sharon Moore allegedly found out that he was going to lose everything and that she was going to get off scot-free, he went to her house, threatened to harm her, and threatened to harm himself. But we don't have to wait for the charges to drop to get the lesson. Right? It's very clear that he crossed a line. It's very clear that he crossed a line as a married man with 3 young children. And it's very clear that he crossed a line as the face of a major football program. Now, let's get crystal clear about marriage real quick. And if you don't hear anything else that I say, please hear this. And now I'm just talking to my high-earning, high-value men. Marriage is meant to protect you. 8 in 10 high-value, high-earning men are married. That commitment and that structure is meant to protect you, and the world sees you differently as a high-earning man. If you are married, you want to find a wife that's down for you and a wife that protects your legacy. But all of that is for nothing if you don't have the self-discipline to protect yourself. And obviously, this is not just about Sharon Moore. We have seen this with CEOs. We've seen this with politicians and other big figures in sports as well. I have a lot of compassion for Sharon Moore and for his family and what they must be going through right now. But this one is just for the men, because fellas, I want to see y'all win. Your talent will get you in the door, but your discipline will keep you in the room. We have to do better. I'm Mario Lou. That's your Lou's News.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. That's interesting. It's written policy. Wow. I don't even know what to think. How does a company like it? Wouldn't it be weird? Well, I guess they have different stations, I guess. I feel like it would be weird if they're all in the same place. I feel like, how do you feel walking in and hear, like, you can't hear each other, like, making noises and grunting and all that stuff? Is that not a thing? Am I overthinking it?
I ain't gonna lie, when the girls start talking about the things they won't do for a man, as far as I'm concerned, when I get my future man of God, I'm ready to cook, clean, and shut up. And it's when I get to that shut up part that they're like, why would you say that? I'm like, shh. Give me a second shot, let me explain. Back in the day, a man used to ask a woman if she was spoken for. Like, you got a man, belong to somebody type of vibe. Well, I like to take that literally. When I say I'm ready to shut up, it's because I'm ready to be spoken for. And a lot of the women who be going to war about this, not only are they not spoken for, but their man that they're seeking is speaking for everyone but them. And that's not their fault. And also, do not shoot the messenger.
I'm all for being an independent woman, but baby, I'm tired. I'm ready to be spoken for because frankly, I talk too much. Case in point. Hey, did you order the large curry chicken with rice and peas, cabbage, a side of mac, extra gravy, large fruit punch, no ice? Yeah, it'll be $32.98. How are you paying? Cash or card? Card. Or, yeah, ma'am, it looks like you need a new catalytic converter, brake pads, windshield wipers, and a new car. You want to get that taken care of today? Do y'all take Afterpay? Or my least favorite. Yeah, shawty, you know, you feel me? You look good. You know, you smoke, you trying to kick it, you trying to kick it. I have a gun. Ready to shut up. Ask my man of God what size tire I need. Because if you ask me, I'm going to tell you I need a medium 5W20R. And that's not right. And maybe it's just me, because I can stand alone, baby. I ain't never had a problem. However, if you are also a woman of God who is ready to shut the faith up and let her man of God be the man of God that the God has called him to be, let the church say, amen.
Nobody asked you to have a kid.
Damn.
Nobody asked you. You have to be realistic with the long-term choices that we're making. You're saying, I need to feed my kid French fries every day because it's faster and it's easier. But now, so is their self-esteem. It's easier to conquer a person with no esteem. It's easier to manipulate a person with no self-esteem. It's faster to get that person into bed when they don't love themselves. It's faster to take advantage of somebody that doesn't have self-esteem. So that same fast and easy mindset works towards your future too. And we as parents need to be mindful of that.
Why do women support unhealthy eating habits? Why do women use, well, if she's comfortable in her body, that's fine, as a cop-out to stay unhealthy?
This is a very slippery slope you have me walking on here.
Did it on purpose.
It's straight downhill. I don't think there's shame around being like a bigger, heftier person. I think there's a problem if you're unhealthy. Not every heavyset person has high cholesterol and diabetes and high blood sugars, right? But most of the ones that do have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes are either overweight or obese. When you look at America, we are 80% overweight or obese. I think that the shame should be around what it's creating and less of the body that it's in. Because no one wants to feel body shamed. No one wants to feel ugly. No one wants to feel rejected. But also, I do think that sometimes kids are raised by those parents that feed them nothing but McDonald's and French fries and Jack in the Box or Taco Bell or, you know, whatever, Del Taco, whatever fast food options that are out there. And when that happens, oftentimes those kids are bigger, and now you're working against the sugars that your body now craves from your childhood, and you're working against the mindset and identity of you being a bigger kid and kids pick on you or bully you, and you're dealing with having to redo your entire childhood now as an adult. And those are hard things. Sometimes that's why they say parents that have overweight or obese kids, that's because kids are mean. A kid will walk up to a heavier set kid and say something rude, mean, disrespectful, and it cripples that kid's esteem, right? So I feel like parents should be much more mindful of what they're allowing their children to consume, and that includes screen time, by the way. I think too many people are allowing their kids to be raised on the internet. Now, I get it. I'm not a mom. You might say, you don't understand, Sarah. We're busy. We have this, we have that. Nobody asked you to have a kid.
Damn.
Nobody asked you. But you're doing your best, and I'm not saying that you're not doing your best. What I'm saying is we have to be realistic with the long-term choices that we're making. You're saying, I need to feed my kid French fries every day because it's faster and it's easier. But now, so is their self-esteem. It's easier to conquer a person with no esteem. It's easier to manipulate a person with no self-esteem. It's faster to get that person into bed when they don't love themselves. It's faster to take advantage of somebody that doesn't have self-esteem. So that same fast and easy mindset works towards your future too. And we as parents need to be mindful of that. Now, if you're an adult, I would just ask, what are you going through? You know, what's going on? Because unless you're sick, you don't just gain weight overnight. You know, it's a choice thing. It's a decision thing. And I think we need to be clear on that.
Ladies, make sure you're his problem and not his peace.
Oh, you want women's relationships to fail. Got it. You do not want to be your man's problem because your man has 100 other problems. And if he has to come home to dealing with you being another one of his problems, he don't want to come home to you. He's going to want to stay out. He's going to want to go somewhere else. Be your man's peace. Make his life easier because his life is already full of troubles, tribulations, and things that he has to deal with and fix every single day. I will always be my man's peace because that's the least I can do for him to make his life a little bit easier.
I have been married for 6 years, and here's my top 5 ways to tell your wife no when she can't have something. Number 1, yes. Number 2, anything for you, sweetheart. Number 3, absolutely gorgeous. Can I get you anything else? Number 4, oh, is right now too soon? Number 5, and this is my wife's personal favorite, you're right. That's exactly what we should do.
This is like one of the most emasculating things. This is feminism in its most purest form, where men have just been like cucked to the point where they literally cannot tell their wife no. They cannot disagree with their wives, and they'll go on the internet and brag about the fact that they are so cucked that they cannot disagree with their wives. They cannot call their wife to account. They cannot tell their wife no. That's so unbelievably it's like disturbing, but it's also so unhealthy. Newsflash, your wife is wrong a lot, and so are you. But if you cannot tell your wife no, you have no spine, you're not leading your family, you are abdicating your responsibilities as the head of your household. It's really gross, and do not take this advice. Christ is king, and if you're a man and you're a husband, you are the patriarch of your family, and you're called to lead.
Well, I think he's joking around. It's what a lot of men go through with their wives or their significant other. This is exactly it. You can't do anything right. You can't tell her no, or else you're insecure, or you're not a good husband. You're not providing like you should be. So he's right on the money with that.
Oh, that's assault right there. Okay. The thing is that I hit too close to home for her because she knows what I was saying was spot on, and she got a little, I can't take it. I guess I was wrong, though. She's masculine, but very emotional as well. What's your name?
Gail.
Gail. What's your name? That's a lie. I feel like you're lying to me.
No.
You have to think about it. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I was debating giving you my fake name.
Yeah, I know. Why? Why do girls do that? Like, why do you guys like...
You might be a stalker.
I might be a stalker? You think you're important enough for me to stalk?
I don't know. I think I am. It's a blessing to be in my presence.
Do you think women... Okay, wow. This is a good segue because you just predicted my question, my next question. Do you think women have a little bit too high of egos?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You guys don't think so?
Are you like a little asking me this or what?
No, you don't think that you're like just somebody who thinks you're a little higher than you actually are?
No, I think I'm exactly what I am.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you think you're a 10.
I think you're a bitch.
But you're like a 7.
I think
you're a 10. You think you're a 10, but you're a 7.
I think you're a
And the attitude went from 7 to 4.
I don't think we should be mean to women.
7 to 4?
Yeah.
I think you're a short king and you're insecure.
You think I'm insecure?
Yeah.
I think you're projecting right now because you're mad.
I'm taller than you. I'm literally taller than you.
You're wearing boots, but I don't think being taller is a flex as a woman. Let's be honest.
All right, height to height. It's a blessing to be in my presence.
Let's see, back to back. This is why we need to move to Europe, bro, because these women got some egos.
Okay.
You got a pretty aggressive friend here. She's a little masculine.
I think
masculine.
Yeah, I bet.
No, I'm whatever. You think you're actually embarrassing, and you're also you look like
that's fine. Yeah, I got that a lot actually on Omegle, but just want to give you some advice. I know you're not gonna take it because your ego's high. Men don't really like masculine women.
Oh, men don't really like masculine women.
Yeah.
I can. Okay. Bro,
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
Marriage, from a legal standpoint, is definitely negligent and possibly reckless. So in the law, we make a distinction between negligence and recklessness. So negligence is a failure to perceive a substantial and unjustifiable risk of serious harm. And recklessness is a conscious disregard for a substantial and unjustifiable risk of harm. So negligence basically is, I didn't realize how dangerous this was. Recklessness is, I knew exactly how dangerous this was and I did it anyway. I would argue that with the divorce rate as high as it is and the marriage satisfaction rate as low as it is, because remember, divorce is just, here's the marriages that catastrophically failed. Like catastrophically failed to the point where these people said, yeah, that's it, I'm out. You can have half my stuff. I'll lose half my time with my kids. I'm out. I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. So you went from, I love you more than the other 8 billion other options on the planet, to, I don't care if I have to give away half my stuff. I just don't want to be with you anymore. Like, so that's pretty far in terms of the trajectory there of how far you can get. It's not like, oh, I used to like this food and now I don't like it so much. It's, I used to love this food. It was my favorite food. And now if I even look at it, I'm going to throw up.
So he's talking trash, basically. He's out there, kind of talking trash. And I'm okay with her going back and forth with him. Because he's talking trash, right? And she came with it. She said, oh, okay, I got time tonight, right? And the other lady is just kind of sitting back there chilling, doing her thing. But I don't know if it's the right move to throw stuff on people. You don't want to start doing that. You don't know what that man might do. That man might say, oh, really? And it might be reaction. It might just be a reflex to pop that fist up at oh, my bad, I'm sorry. So kind of be careful.
See this?
It's a great example of a pick me, a princess treatment, but it really should be the other way around. Like, he should be feeding her and treating her like a princess. And that's what's wrong with this society lately.
That's why you're single. Shut it.
Well, newsflash, I don't think anyone at our core, if we had the option, really wants to work.
Approaches you and just really likes you for some reason. And they say, I want you to drop out of college, forget your career plans, but I'll pay you $1 million per year. All he wants you to do is be a door greeter. You just greet people at the door. Welcome to Walmart. You get paid $1 million a year. You can pursue any kind of romantic relationship you want, and you get to work. Do you take that trade?
To be honest, I'm sorry, still no, and that's
Still
not
no.
because of my relationship ideals, it's because of fundamentally who I am.
Liar, liar. What about you? You take the deal?
No.
Don't take the deal. Does it change if we up the price? 10 mil?
No, not the price.
Doesn't matter.
No.
10 mil?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Do you take the deal?
Oh man, maybe.
You take the deal? The Walmart deal?
I don't think so. Honestly.
You can't do your little car thing, your clothes thing.
I don't think so. To me, it's more about the freedom of choice. No, I wouldn't.
You don't take it.
I wouldn't take it because I'll be making more than $1 million a year.
Liar, liar. Your paint's on fire.
You need a job.
No, I don't want a job.
Well, I know.
It's so much work. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, she needs a job. And I think it would be great if you volunteered some more at the soup kitchen. You could do some great volunteer work down there.
I was married for 5 years, but I was with my husband for 10 years. And I'm gonna be honest, I lost a good man because of my mindset of I can compete with a man. Queen vibes, princess treatment. I ain't have to work. I ain't have to do nothing. But my mouth was bad, and I lost a good man. I'm taking that L. I disobeyed every direct order, but I didn't cheat. And I thought like, oh, I'm the perfect wife. I don't cheat. I don't go outside. I don't even get dolled up. But I'm in the house saying, you suck my fuck your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck everybody. And it's my man, the kids we got together type shit. That's how mad I get. I up a whole marriage. I had the that everyone wanted. And I'm sitting here saying that because it eats me up every day. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm an alpha at the end of the day, and that's what me up. He put me in a soft girl era, but I...
So as always, shout out to this young lady for at least taking accountability. Now, here's the thing. There are many different ways of ruining a relationship other than cheating. And this is one of them right here. A woman who does not know how to control her emotions. A woman that don't know how to control her mouth. A woman who acts and says whatever. I'm telling you, I've said this many times before. Life and death is in the tongue. When you sit here and you run off and you just say whatever because you're emotional, you and your feelings, those are words you can never take back, and those words will resonate with a person for the rest of their life. The other thing I want to say is not understanding what you have until it's gone. There's so many people, they think they can do better. They think they can find better. They think they this, they think that, they think all these things. And many times I'm just like, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And unfortunately for this lady, she had to find out firsthand.
I am a 24-year-old millionaire and I rent my house. Before you call me dumb, I actually own 3 rental properties that I literally own and get cash flow from. Their investment. As soon as I realized these 4 reasons to rent your primary, I was sold. Number 1, my CPA tax guy that I trust with my life told me that 90% of the monthly payments that you would make for rent are a tax write-off. In the world of sales, starting your own business, tax write-offs are everything. So we're paying $33,000 a month, but we get to write off $29,700 per month for taxes. So it's basically free.
So Shelby, quick reality check from me and shockingly from Carlton, who actually commented on this post. Okay, just want to confirm 3 things about your CPA that you trust with your life. Is he actually a CPA? Is he of right mind? And let's be honest, does he even exist? You said the advice that you got was to make an S-Corp, then pay rent through the S-Corp, something like that. But that would create income on your personal return to offset the rental deduction unless you're committing illegal tax evasion. And for more actual tax law or something like that, subscribe.
As the public speaker for all my Rough Riders,
I second this. This needs to be law. This way need psyche evaluations before they even have children. What are we talking about? You need it before marriage, before having children, before having anything serious, before you could dig in a man's pockets, and before y'all can come on this internet and say the dumbass that y'all be saying. Come on now.
What the is wrong with you? If you've ever traveled with a woman, you already know this. But for the rest of you, there's nothing more exhausting than flying internationally with a woman. Men travel like Navy SEALs. We can miss a flight, sleep on the floor, eat nothing for 14 hours, and we keep moving. But the moment you add a woman to your itinerary, she's losing her bag, starving, getting cramps, needing to rest from her resting, and her skin is itchy, and then she forgot her serum 3 gates and 2 continents ago. With a woman, you're not traveling anymore. You're running logistics, emotional support, daycare, and crisis management simultaneously. Men move for speed. Women move to be seen. That's why guys prefer traveling with other guys. We board planes like war is coming. Women only move if there's a camera, something expensive to flex on, and perfect lighting for her stories.
Did y'all see that video of the guy talking about how now that women can provide for themselves, they pick their man based on personality, and that's why everybody's lonely all of a sudden? Because that is both hilarious and true. Y'all spent years telling us that you didn't want a gold digger, you didn't want a woman who was only with you for your money, and so we said, okay, I'm gonna go make my own then, and I'm gonna make more than you, and I'm gonna make it faster than you, and I'm gonna buy a house before you do, and I'm gonna have a better job than you. And then all of a sudden, y'all just don't have anything to offer.
What y'all are not saying is y'all are picking the wrong man with the wrong personality. Y'all are picking the wrong guy. Y'all done gotten all this education. Y'all done went out here and made all this money. Got the house. You telling me that you done made a sound financial decision. Man, I got a house at a great price. The interest rate is fantastic. And still picked the wrong man. Man, I've been navigating through my career. I've been doing it and still picked the wrong man. Man, I'm educated. I got 2 or 3 degrees. I'm working on my PhD right now. And still pick the wrong man. Still pick the wrong man. And then we'll say, y'all will take accountability and ownership for the stuff that y'all do at work. When you ruin, oh, that's on me, guys. My bad. And then work all night to fix it. But then when you're in a relationship, it's his fault. And he needs to work all night to fix your wrongdoing. You see how that works? Y'all are not as good of people and partners as you think you are.